Alright, we're back at the Yellow Jacket mine. I see some of that wall has collapsed right there. And here's a ladder. That ladder extends 40 feet, and it's probably another 10 feet here to the top of the hole. Anyway, we put Bo in a harness, safety harness, 4-gas meter, winched him up to a tree, chain fall, and lowered him down in the hole. It goes down 50 feet, approximately 50 feet. Now what's interesting is Bo says there is a shaft running that way and one running this way. This way is kind of northwest southeasterly, but that way is more north. And the rumor is that tunnel in that direction goes all the way across to the other man's property on the other side. So anyway, I want to do some experimenting around, some exploring around. We're going to do some sampling today. Take a look at what's on the other piece of property over there. See if we can find maybe where this shaft running off the main shaft here, the one going in this direction, in a northerly direction, where it goes. Happy to be back. Yellow Jacket Gold Mine. And I'm staying away from the Yellow Jackets. Okay, I'm on the adjoining piece of property. I'm going to call this Parcel B. The landowner has decided to very graciously to let us get on the property and do some sampling, and wants to join in on this this adventure, if that's what it turns out to be. I'm kind of following a line in the direction that Bo told me to go. That one tunnel that looked like it went a long direction. And I'm running into rock piles everywhere here. And there's a large gully down there. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up. We'll probably grab some samples down there. I'm probably 300 yards from the main shaft up above. I'm going to scout around and see what we can find. Okay, this is looking pretty cool. I'm looking at that gully line coming up the hill, and as I get closer, excuse the shaky camera, this is what I'm seeing. I don't know about you guys, but that looks like an opening to a mine shaft, and that's directly in line with the main shaft that goes straight down 50 feet. Let's check it out. Bingo! Here it is. I believe. Yep. There's the shaft. It's filled in with dirt. This wall's collapsed, trees falling in here, but that's it. That's the opening. That runs back to the main shaft on the other parcel of land. Pretty cool. Let's see if I can get a little closer. Yeah, this definite opening going back that way. I see quartz rock too, right there. I guess this is the tunnel or the shaft that connects with the main one. There's the tree that's fallen down. And the gully line running down that way. Actually, I'm seeing, you can't see it, but there's rock piles up on top of the hill. We'll need to check all that out too. This was some serious digging here. And I see a huge rock pile right down there. I don't like to zoom, but we'll do it anyway. Have a shaky video. Alright, there we go. In fact, that whole section right there looks like it's probably all rock that's been placed there for some reason. Alright, let's check it out some more. Alright, looks like you're prepared for the day. Got a metal detector?
Yeah, we got our ground penetrating radar thing here, and we're going to go up here and do some more grid patterns today, so we can see if we can find maybe where the tunnel is up here, see if we can find any color in it. Maybe there's some hot spots, maybe there's a vein. We'll see.
Alright, you know, Bo had a metal detector last time and it was so mineralized that you could never tune it out. Is yours different than his?
Yeah, this works off of the ions that come through the earth, kind of.
And you got ground penetrating radar we're going to
yeah, ground
scan with?
penetrating. Here's the head of it right here.
Okay.
We got the backpack back here. All the electronics that run the wires and battery and all are in here.
Well, I'm anxious to see that GPR work. And we got a severe shortage of water up here, so I brought my own, some 5-gallon buckets full of water and a tub with some jet dry, my pan, post hole digger for my sampling, and we'll at least have something that we can check without having to go down the bottom of the hill into the cow pasture and have some good clean water to pan in.
Back at it again.
Alright, Bo, back at it again. Where's Terry? Terry Lee?
He ain't gonna make it.
Nope.
Can't get out of painting.
Alright, well that's good as long as he's working.
That's right.
Making us some money, right?
I hope so.
Alright, Bo. Richard's up there already doing some scanning around with the ground penetrating radar. What's your plan today?
Take a few samples. I got one spot that Terry Lee wanted me to sample out for, and just work way back up toward the mine.
Alright, let's get to work.
Let's do it.
All right.
Get her done.
Get her done. Don't run and hide from me, sidekick. I got her, Bo.
You see where they dug a straight line
Yep.
up the hill, dug a ditch,
Right.
tracking the gold, tracing it up to here.
Okay.
So I get at the end of the ditch and sample right there where they stopped at before they come up here punching holes.
All right. This area, this is parcel B. We're going to call it parcel B. The yellow jacket's on parcel A. This is the joining property. We're going to call it parcel B. And it's extensively dug too. I mean, just actually it's maybe more extensively dug than the yellow jacket mine parcel A. I'm going to get sidekick in the picture just to give you some perspective of the size of the diggings here. But it's really been dug, and we broke some rocks. This area here, the quartz that we're breaking, is a lot more highly mineralized than it is on the yellow jacket mine side. I'll show you some close-ups of those rocks in just a minute, or later in the video. How does it work, Bo?
Works pretty good. Cornelius from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. How they do that? Wahoo!
And where it lands, that's where the gold is?
Up where the gold is.
All right, start digging. Find us some gold. Oh, you're supposed to lick it. We're all insane. Gold fever will make you crazy. Some serious digging here. Okay, Bo, you're saying this is the ditch they've dug?
They dug this, tracking the gold up the side of this hill.
Man, that is one serious ditch.
Not only there, you can see several points. You got one over there, and they're all leading straight back to the top of this hill.
Okay, I see what you're talking about. Let me get over here. All right, here we go again. There's another ditch they've dug. Quartz rock everywhere. Oh, it's just like the spokes of a wheel, just like
Yeah.
the other mine.
And you got another digging
Yep.
going up over yonder.
On the back side, I see it. Camera can't see it, but I can see it. And then look right down here, right down there. See the big hill?
Yep.
What do you think?
The tailing.
Let's check it out. And then figure out where we want to sample first. Also, we saw what we think may be a road on this piece of property, parcel A. It looked like an old logging road, and it's headed toward the river, so maybe they actually did move rocks and crush them somewhere else, further down. We'll try to walk down that road and see. Well, we screwed up. Not expecting to find any water anywhere. We're packing light, relatively, with all the picks and shovels, camera gear, but we left a pan, didn't bring a pan with us, and finally we get down here at the bottom of this hill, and we're finding nice puddles of water where we could actually pan material. A lot of exposed bedrock. But no pan. Just have to grab a sample, screen it, and take it back. That's all exposed bedrock in that curve by that fallen tree. A lot of gravel in here. And some water. Duh. Bring a pan next time, Jerry. Here's a nice S-turn. That's exposed bedrock. And then it goes into a real sharp S-turn. Right here against that boulder. Slowed down, dropped out all that gravel right there. And switches back to another S-turn. Sure would like to dig right there. That looks good. Man, it's hot. Miserable hot. Long hike. Carrying buckets of dirt we dug. Screens, shovels, picks, camera gear. Alright, we got Bubba over there. He's going to try to pan some of these samples out, see what we have. We sampled down in that dry creek bed. Got some gravel out of those drop-offs, so let's see what he has. Man, it's hot. Out of the bucket?
Yeah, it is.
Ziploc bag or your bag? Your
My bag.
Alright. That was at the bottom of that little waterfall.
Yeah.
Deep drop. Alright, let's let Bo pan this out and see what we have. Bring it back in just a minute. Okay, Bo says he has a nice flake in here somewhere that he's already seen. Let me see, Bo. If I can get it in the shade here, maybe. There it is, right there. That's a nice size flake. Let's see if I can get it in the sun and see if that makes it any easier to see. I don't know. I don't know. I can't see anything. Alright, that's the first big flake I found anyway. That looks good, man. Can't wait to see what the other samples have. Alright, Bo's panning out one of the samples in that lower part of the creek, and he says, I don't need to look in the pan. Why do I not need to look in the pan?
There ain't no gold in there. I'm getting a little shade.
Jeez Louise. Oh, I can see it from here. Right there. Man. That is awesome. Let me see if I can get a... Man, what a flake, man. That is super. Can you guys see it? Man, that is big. That's a picker, Bo.
That's a picker all day long. That's what we're here for.
Right. All right. You know where we got to go back now, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, we don't know if that was number 1, 2, or 3, which one. Well, that's all right. We got 3 samples and they're all
tied together.
all
so.
within a few feet of each other. So,
And it'd be good if we had a lot more water than what we got.
we got 2 more sample bags there. Dig through the other sample bags. Let's see what we got.
Will do.
Oh man, that is sweet.
You want to take a picture of it?
See if I can get. that.
Woohoo! Oh, you got headphones on.
There it is. Nice. I wish I could get a better shot of it, but there it is. Sweet. Bo?
I think it's a honey hole there, Jerry.
I think that's a honey hole. Okay, I don't think the camera picks it up very well, but there was 2 more little finds with that picker and 1 more coarse piece of gold. There's the coarse piece. Right there. That 1 picker was so big, Bo had to take the lid off his snuffer bottle. It wouldn't go through. That's a good sign. Alright, not a lot of finds, but some finds. Nice coarse gold there. And a couple of more little pieces in here. Well, check the other 2 bags we have. We just took some Ziploc bags, grabbed some samples and labeled them.
Just gonna leave them little finds in there.
Okay. To pan out and see what we have. Alright, there's, I don't know, 12, 15 pieces of fine gold in that black sand. It's small, but it's there. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. That's a lot of pieces right there.
For half a pound of samples.
Yeah, that's right, because that little Ziploc bag's only,
Hey,
it's just a third, not even, that's not even a third full. Let's see how big it is.
that's all the samples we're taking, so.
Yeah, it's not much of a sample there. It's 2 or 3 cups, 3 cups, 4 cups maybe.
Yeah, for that much gold.
For that much gold, I'm happy. I think we're on the spot right there, Bo. Oh, it's all in here.
Full of finds.
All down in here too. Full of finds. All right, go find us 1 more big piece. All right, the last sample has some finds in it too. There's 1 or 2 right there. There's 1 right there. The sun's directly overhead, so I'm having a hard time with the camera. Let me see if I can move it and get in the shade to see anything here better this way. Yeah, right there in the middle of the screen is fine there. There's 1 off over here, and then there's a little bit down here in this black sand. So anyway, there was something in all 3 bags. So I think we're on to something down there. What do you think?
I believe we are. Get down there and dam a creek up and dam it. Well, it ain't a creek.
Yep.
Just a dry gully, but catch it when it's raining. Catch some water up. It's too far in to carry stuff. So.
Yep. Let's just go back when we get some good rain. Go down there, and at least we know there's 3 or 4 good puddles there. We'll go down there and just
Good ones.
pan it out.
Sounds like a plan to
All
me.
right, let's go check on Rich, see what he's doing.
Get her done.
All right, let's see what Rich is doing. All right, Richard, tell me about this GPR, ground penetrating radar. What do we have here?
Now we got some sensors in this thing right here. There's front 4 sensors, and this thing works off of, straight down, up and down, and this wire leads into some boxes we have here, and this box hooks up to the computer. And while you're scanning, you can see the graphs, and it'll save each line that we we'll do like 20-second grids here, and after 20 seconds it'll shut off, and then you start back on the same end you started again, and you do another line, and it saves it after the 20 seconds. And then after you do all these, we're doing 50 feet by 50 feet, and once we do that, we save the whole scan, and then we can look at our computer and our graphics on it and see if there's any color or if there's any tunnels or any abnormal things underneath the ground.
Okay, how deep will that read, you think?
So far, I mean, it reads down to, I guess, to the core of the ground, I guess you might say, the end of the crest or something, I guess.
All right, so what I'm looking at right here is one of your grid lines, correct?
Running along.
That you have marked off. So you're going to walk between the grids. Let's see if I can get it on the camera. The sunlight's not just right.
Get them better down there. There's more color down.
All right. Yeah, let's walk down to the other marker. All right, here's one of his grid lines. You can see the yellow string, and then over about what, 3 feet or so?
4 feet. They're about 4 feet apart.
4
I can
feet.
run the sensor in between twice each line.
All right, here's the other line set up in his grid. I'll try to get both lines in the picture here, if I can. Yep. There you go. Anyway, use a little imagination. You can see it. That's a 4-foot grid. And Richard's walking the grid up and back with his GPR, saving all the information to the computer that we'll look at a later date, right?
Yes, sir.
Later today?
Oh yeah, we'll look at it here later on. We can save it. We can actually put all this grid together. After we might do 10 or 15 of these 50 by 50 grids, and we can put them all together and see exactly what's underneath this hilltop.
All right, sounds like a plan to me.
And that'll hopefully lead us in the right place to gather up some dirt and go do some testing is what I'm hoping.
All right, Richard's got a little buddy.
He's hanging on. I don't know what he's hanging on for.
All right, so while we were looking at the other spot, you were swinging the ground penetrating radar, and what,
See.
didn't work so well?
Yeah,
What
couldn't
happened?
get the same readings twice for some reason. I'm not for sure why, but let's see if we can open up one of them.
Get down here by the screen. Someplace to get steady.
Let's see, here's one. And here's different colors and different means different things. Values on the plus side are like gold readings. If it's minus, it's another mineral or just organic or whatever.
So you got anything on the plus side?
So you can see here we got somewhere where that red cross is right here, or purple cross. We got a plus 280.
Hold on a minute, I'm getting a cramp in my leg.
I can get plenty of them around here.
Okay, what about the cross?
The purple cross running right here, right up underneath there, that red spot.
Yeah.
It's reading a 289, which could mean there's something there.
289. Could mean there's something there like gold.
Yeah, gold. The higher the number, the better quality the gold is, I guess, or the more of it.
And will that tell you where you were?
Yeah, you can turn this thing. Let's see. I have to get down here in my mouse.
So you know exactly where that is.
Let's see where.
We'll come back to it in just a minute. Oh yeah.
Kind of see where it is. Kind of more on top than it is further down.
Okay, now as far as your grid, can you, where that cross is, can you pinpoint where that is
Yeah.
on your grid work?
Yeah.
I guess that's my question I'm trying to
Yeah.
ask. So if I'm walking along here,
That would be in my
following your grid, is what?
more up this way, over in this area.
So are you reading the screen while you're walking along, or are you just recording it?
Well, as you're walking along, it don't show anything. It's got a gauge that goes up and down on the side, and it changes colors, I guess, whenever it picks up something. And when you get through with the 20-second walk, well, then it shows you what you just scanned. And then you can keep taking scans, or you can save as you want. And here I've done 6 rows on one, saved. But along in here is where I was getting that reading. More is this area here.
Well, that's just
So,
directly behind the main.
So it could be, and it is
shaft.
above kind of the shaft coming that way too. So actually looking straight behind you is where that shaft is. We're almost sitting right above it.
All right, so the information that you gathered, can we use it for anything or not?
Well, we'll see. That's what we're hoping to figure out. Maybe we can do some digging here and some sampling here. Maybe we can figure out if it's something or not. And then we'll be able to figure that machine out, and maybe we can use it to our advantage.
All right, well, the good side is Bo and I found some Sidekick. We found some gold. A lot of finds for, we didn't have it 3 or 4 teacups in a bag, and we pulled out 3 bags, and every one of them had gold, and a lot of them had some finds. One had a little bit of coarse gold, and of course, the really nice picker.
Nice picker. I like
real
pickers.
Nice picker. So we're gonna go back there,
get
some rain. All right, what do you say we wind it down for the day?
Oh yeah, I'm wore out.
I am too. We'll see if we can edit some video and put something up for everybody else to see, and I guess we'll catch you next time, Rich.
All right, have a good one, y'all.
Hey man, appreciate you being with us.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of this.
All right, catch you next time.